Yeah. As an African, I have realized that the continent needs support, and I'm talking about that because I come from the program. You must understand. If you see those little boys playing football, I come from that background. I don't come from any academy in Europe and all that. No, I come from exactly that boy that you see there. That has been my line of football, and I've played for Orlando Pirates, and I've played for Mamelodi Sundowns, and I've played in Greece, in Europe, and also in Belgium, and I've played also in the Middle East. One of the most successful teams in the Middle East, especially in Qatar, Al Sadd, I think you know, it's the biggest club that Abedi Pele was playing. Romario was playing there. So I've been fortunate to be in those kind of spaces, and I've played for my country. I'm the first player to play and coach South Africa, my home soil, you know. So I have realized that in terms of coaching, I've realized that the continent needs support, and we have to respect the Europeans because they've led this way. They've been in this program for long, and also you must also understand they have the financial resources. The countries are stronger as a country. They can support this, and I've been fortunate that some of my coaching education, I've spent time, months in Holland and learning in Feyenoord how they do their youth structures. So I've got that experience, and I've also been developed by the DFB, German Football Association, and I've learned about their youth structures, and I've learned about senior football coaching. So with that background and coming to coach Mamelodi Sundowns, and fighting with the North Africans and also the East Africans, the Mazembes, the Simbas, and all that, I have came to conclusion of looking at my story from the way it started to where I am today, and that's one of the things I'm doing at the moment. I have coached players like Steven Pienaar from South Africa. I've coached Benny McCarthy now. He's been appointed as the coach for Man United. He's one of the players I've coached, and I have known their strength and their weaknesses, and even myself when I was playing in Europe. So I've realized that it's not that Tanzania is not good if you produce a top player like what's his name? Yeah, Simba. I played against him and he scored against us. You know, scored against me. I don't forget that when I was playing for Mazembe. So but we finally defeated Mazembe in the CAF Super Cup. You know, I can also boast about that. And the president watched that match in South Africa, by the way, for your information. So anyway, to cut the long story short, I've realized my shortfalls when I was playing, when these boys were playing, to say, why are the Europeans ahead of us? And sometimes you say, why teams like Senegal, Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, why are they always dominant? Algeria. I mean, if you look at the CAF Super Confederation Cup and the Champions League, you make your research, you know, as a journalist. For the last 5, 7 years or 8 years, which part of Africa has won those kind of tournaments? And it's a fact, and I'm humbled to be part of the last 5 years, to be four times in the finals and winning it 3 times. So in the last 5 years, I can boldly say I've been there and I've won the medals in that 5 years. So, but to come back to your story is, the shortfalls is we need to train our children here exactly the same way as the Europeans develop their children. It is, some of the things it's not about the money. Of course you need financial resources and facilities to pay the coaches to be able to to do that. But you need also the education to know. It doesn't matter. A doctor from Tanzania is the same doctor as in England. Okay? We study the same human body. So what we need is the curriculum to give them the right information, what to do. So one of the programs that I have started in South Africa is PMSS, which is the Pitso Soccer Schools. I've long wanted to do that, but I didn't have the chance because I've been busy every 3 days, as the guy was saying here. So I've started that by putting football first in the schools. Why in the schools? All the children are at school. All the children go to school, the young children. But football is not like that. Look at the academic side of the school. You can't train a young child of 5 years or 3 years the same way with the same curriculum, education curriculum of the grade 4, grade 5, grade 3. So you've got to put the right program inside. So that's what I'm doing in South Africa, and hopefully I can come here and contribute at a later stage. So that's why I formed the Pitso Soccer Schools. Because if we deal with the children at the school, when they come to the club at the weekend, they've had few sessions at the schools, and imagine how many sessions can they have outside the club. So the club will give them maybe two sessions maybe before that, but when they're at the school they get another 2, so we can make 4. So we start to develop them the same way as the Europeans. So that's Pitso Soccer Schools that I'm doing in South Africa, and it's amazing that how they have received. And sometimes we say in South Africa is a developed country. Yes, maybe as a country, but we're talking football. We didn't have that program of how to train the coaches, to train the children with the age appropriate training, which is the size of the pitch, which is the size of the ball, how many minutes you train, what do you address on a 3 to 5 year old. You cannot say put the same program to an 8-year-old. So we didn't have that information. So I'm busy gathering that. The manual is coming out. You will see it. You will first see it. So that's how I believe first we must do to develop the continent. And we don't need money for that. Okay, you need a little bit of the coaches to be paid at the school, obviously, and to also to prepare them, to train them, because my program, I train the coaches what to do on the pitch, and I have somebody who monitors them. And I don't want anybody who come from Europe to come to see my program at the school and say, what is this? Pitso is using his name and his profile and he's not doing the right thing. So I know I'm doing the right thing because my research is extensive. And I've gone to Europe to understand what they're doing, and we can do that in Africa. So that's my contribution to my beloved continent and in South Africa. And then we're doing, somebody asked about how can we help and contribute to Africa, because I've been in that space for the last 12 years, in the Champions League. So how do we do that? I have a program called the Master Class, and hopefully we'll bring it again here in Tanzania. The Master Class, we did a pilot one, the first one, in South Africa with a team that is qualified for CAF, Royal AM. You'll see them, they'll be in the Confederation Cup. So I am sharing, I've got my team that have been traveling. You must know my coaches. I've got 2 coaches with me and an analyst. They've been with me for the last 12 years. It's not funny. I travel with them wherever I go. So we have a master class where we share the information of what has contributed to us to have won 18 trophies in our career. And that includes the World Cup, that includes the CAF Champions League, CAF Super Cup. We've been also in Confederation Cup. So we're sharing that information and what happened, how did we do it, and where were our pitfalls, because we were not all successful. I think I've lost 6 cup finals. I can talk about 17 or 18 that I've won, but I've lost 6. So that really shows that there's nothing guaranteed. You will learn some of the things that you didn't do right and do them right. So that's what I am doing now for my continent, and I don't mind to be coming over here, because even Uganda people are already asking us to say, Coach, you're the only African, you understand the kind of pitches we come from, the backgrounds where we're coming from. Because the Europeans don't know that. They come to coach and they go. So I live here, I'm in the continent. So I'm sharing that information, and it doesn't mean that we know everything. I'm just telling you what happened to us and how we got it right and how we got it wrong. So the programs must be really respected. If you follow, last night, my former team, Al-Ahly, has made a decision that they will play with the youth teams, not with the senior team, to finish the league. It's very interesting for me because some of the things that created that situation, I've told Al-Ahly about them, but now they know. Okay, and sometimes when it comes from a European, everybody will listen. Africa gets excited. Okay, when it comes from an African, Africans don't know nothing. No, we know. We learn quickly, we learn fast. Africans can learn. So we learn quickly and we learn fast, and it's amazing. But anyway, I don't want to go there. But it's the issue of playing 3 games a game every 3 days. So it means you have about, in 8 days or 9 days, you have 3 games. So it's to the coaches also, as much as you are looking at the curve, don't forget to win the league here, because you know what happened when we won the league. We won those celebrations again. So it's a bit tough. So I'm sharing that information of how I've succeeded and how I've also not succeeded. So those are the things that I call it the master class. And I'll go to Africa because I see the demand. Africa says, tell us about your stories, because you're the only one who's won the Champions League more than everybody in the continent. What happened? How did you do it? And especially with different teams. Yeah, the big week of the citizens with you guys, and for me to experience that and share also the chance and opportunity with these young children who are here, because that was me years back. So, and also to respect the country as Tanzania, and also to respect the younger batch that has been there for all these years. Yeah. What impact does this have to do to the fans? That's the question. What do I think? I think the president can answer that much better. What impact does this week mean to the fans of Tanzania? I've seen the passion of Tanzania. I've seen the fans. I've been at the stadium. I've seen the first time I was in Tanzania, I came to watch a match before the big stadium. There was a stadium next to the big stadium. Yeah. I don't know if it still exists. I saw Yanga play Simba. And there was a problem. I think the match didn't finish or whatever, but there was about tear gas and all that. Those who were long in the game can remember that day. It was like a Sekafa tournament. It was unbelievable. And I came here, and my brother from Uganda, that's where I got Dennis Onyango from Tanzania. In that stadium, I signed Dennis Onyango immediately from that tournament. So I've seen the passion. I've seen the passion when my team came over here. My former team came play against Simba, and I've seen the images of Yanga, Simba, the derby. So I think that's the impact that this country has, and I think if you're not aware, I think you're amongst the top 4 forces leagues now, in the continent. South Africa is good also. The league is good. Egypt is a tough league. Tunis is a good league. Same as Morocco has a good league. But you also now impacting on the West Africa. I'm watching the movements that the West Africans now are flocking more to this country. Why? It's because now the football is improved. You have invested a little bit more in your football. You take the CAF competitions very serious, and look at how your stadiums are getting full. So I hope you're right about this, that we watching from outside. What you are covering is important and is big. And look how the football is developing and growing. And probably to share some ideas that why we don't have South African players also to come into Tanzania, and Tanzanian players going to South Africa. We can share that information later, especially with the master class. That's why I formed that. So we can have the movements. So there's a lot of Tanzanians in South Africa, and there's a lot of South Africans here, and especially in our history, you guys hosted us, you guys helped us to get our liberation. So we can also give back. So I hope I've answered almost everything. I don't know if anybody is not happy that I didn't speak about this, his question, but to the program director, I don't know.
No, we're very happy, and we'll have to move on.
It's not a game, it's a rich